Hey, you guys ever heard of a donk? I've never heard of a donk, but apparently this is a donk, and that's a real thing, D-O-N-K. I had to like look it up on the internet. A donk. A donk is a car, boxy vehicle, or large car, large boxy vehicle with oversized rims. Yeah, we have those. The term donk may come from the Impala's emblem, which some say resembles a donkey. Others say refers to the long car, or refers to the car's long square nose. So that makes it a donkey. Or the Impala symbol on a Chevy Impala makes it a donk, because I guess they do this to Impalas also. They meaning the people that own these big box body Chevrolets. So I guess this thing fits the classification of a donk. So this is the first ever donk that we have had to work on here in the channel. This is a 1987 Chevrolet Caprice. It's that big body Chevy. It's that heavy Chevy boy. Anyway, the customer states that the vehicle was stolen. So it's a stolen car. It's no longer stolen. I didn't steal it. I don't know why somebody would steal it, but they did. That's horrible. Stop stealing things. Stop stealing people's donks. Get your own donk. People have like a craving for donks or something. They like to hold them. I don't know. Anyway, don't steal these kinds of cars. The customer states that they had stolen the car. The car was recovered. After having recovered the vehicle, I guess there was some destruction on the steering column or something like that. But there's an issue with the lights. Now, I guess the turn signals don't work and the taillights don't work, and the customer keeps getting pulled over by law enforcement, which I get that. So, because we have improper lights on the car, and you got to have the proper safety protocols in place in order to drive your donk on public motorways. So, we're going to attempt to figure out what they ruined when this car was stolen, and we're kind of going to go from there. So, we're going to go ahead and do the light check. Let's go ahead and power on just the headlights and whatnot, and make sure that stuff's functioning and operating as designed. So, we're doing a full light check here. We got low beams, marker, 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 marker. Beams are good. Okay, let's go around to the back, the rear, the behind, the ass end of the donk. Marker, tail light, brake light. Okay, tail light, not working tail light, and not working tail light, and we've got a marker. Okay, let's start the engine. Hit my cranium on this donk over here. Let's start it up. Ooh, high beam indicators indicating high beams, and the multi-function switch is not shutting them down. Okay, let's start the engine. Oh yeah. All right, so engine running. I'll have to retract what I said. Those are high beams that were on, not low beams. That's still working, I guess. And the switch is not switching. Okay. Headlights and taillights are still on. We still have the same configuration there, same configuration there. We got license plate lights working, that's legal. Okay, let's try signals. I think signals is the primary problem. We're gonna go left signal on our donk. The indicator's indicating. I hear the relay flashing. We got a left signal. We have two left signals, but that's steady on. Weird. Right turn signal. We have no indicator flash. Oh, kinda. It lights up slightly, but it does not flash. That one flashes. That one does not. Okay. Bad ground. No flashing. No flashing. This donk is smelly. No flashing. All right. Well, the switch tried to turn on the indicators. Let's turn off. Yeah, look at that. Now we're indicating with the headlights turned off. We've got two flashing, and this one is dim and flashing. See that? That's a marker. That should not be dim. There is a short circuit to the wrong circuit somewhere. Let's go check the fronts. Fronts are flashing. Good. Left signal. Fronts are flashing. Okay. So, what I had noticed, we'll shut this thing down. Oh, real quick, while we're in here, mileage check. Looks like we got 63,397.75 on the odometer. That might be rollover past 100K. So what I noticed is this bulb was super bright. That one didn't really do much. I'm wondering if that's the wrong bulb in there. So we're gonna pop the trunk here and we're gonna see if the correct bulbs are installed first. I know we have a high beam slash headlight switch selector problem going in here because we could not get this to trigger and switch down to low beam from the high beam section. That's not okay. So I think we're gonna have to pull the column apart some and see if the switches have been damaged. I imagine there's more. Any bodies in here? No, we're good. We're good. No bodies in the back of the... So anyway, let's go up front and take a look at that switch in the steering column. What do you guys say? All right, let's get on into our interior section right here and try to pop some panels out and see what kind of damage has been done in here. Now they said they had repaired whatever was destroyed on this thing. I don't really know. They don't really know. Nobody really knows what happened. When thieves get a hold of things, you never know what they're gonna do. So, got a couple switches in here. I haven't seen this kind of stuff in a while. Old school Chevy connectors. There's a problem. It's not the greatest, but that's not a bad circuit. See the exposed wires right there? That's not that super fantastic, but I'll live with it. Let's see what else is going on in here. We got a bread tie for the speaker wires. That's good. Some ground cables over here, those are fine. Yeah, so our switches for the high beams, there's a high beam switch that's gonna run off of this switch. That high beam switch is down in the column somewhere, and there's a lever and like a bell crank in here. It's pretty much like a 90-degree type of lever, I think. And when you operate this switch, it transfers this type of motion into this type of motion, and that's what changes the state of lighting on your donk. I need to figure out which one of these switches is the right... Oh, it's that one right there. Yeah, see the lever right up here? That little rod or whatever? We pull this back, it pushes that rod in and out, and that's what's gonna give us our engagement on the switch. So I think the high beams are just not working because this switch is probably junk. I'm wondering if we can't get this thing to come down, and let's go ahead and pull it out and see if we can make it function again. Well, that does not go up there like that. The switch doesn't care though, it's still not fixed. The switch is not the problem. It's something in the column. It's up here, there's slop up here. Let's pull the steering wheel off of this unit and see if we can't visually inspect the internal linkages of this column right here. I think the problem is probably in there. Okay, so behind one of these pillars on the steering wheel here, there's a nut. Just gonna hold the cover on, pull that nut out, the bolt fastener. And then there'll be another one here on the opposing side. Let's get in there and pull that guy out. Throw the fasteners on the floor. And this thing, that comes off like so. That's our horn button circuit right there. Let's get that guy disconnected. Please come out. It does not want to remove itself. I will make you become removed. There's a little tab right there. We're gonna bend that tab back. That tab was engaging the hole right there and locking this into place. A little lock tab thing on it. Bend that back some and that comes off of there. Yeah, that's the circuit for our horn. If we ground this out, we get horn actuation. We don't want horny actuation right now. Okay, so next we need to get this little retainer clip on here. That's what keeps the nut for your steering wheel from falling off. That's a 24. It's not a 24. 21. Fight. On the clickage. You couldn't see. Here, let's just do it again so you guys can see. There, that's how you do that. Take that guy off, put that over there by the clip where it does not get lost. You should be able to pull this horn hose out. Wire, the horn wire. This touches the clock spring back in there, and then it locks in with a little tab on this little piece of plastic. Those like to disintegrate. Now we're gonna need a puller probably to get this thing off of here. All right, I have a steering wheel puller device right here. We've got a larger threaded section. It's gonna press against the steering column shaft. And you've got these little winglets here. They're going to be bolted on to the steering wheel section like so. And then we'll adjust this knot, or adjust this nut, bolt, fastener, and use that to pull this unit off the column. So let's get these little bolts started. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I need to flip my puller around. The heads of these bolts are interfering with this lip on the puller. So I need to reconfigure the puller to get it all to fit. Seriously? I've about worn this puller set out. It's been around for about 15 years. Says I. Okay, I think we're back in business now. I'm beginning to not like this donk. It's making my life unpleasurable. We're starting. Yay! Okay, so now that should be sufficient to pull this out. Let's get a 18 mil and begin the pull procedure. Donk. Got it. Now, that was the easy part. The fun part is to get this clock spring business out of here. That's gonna be awesome. We need to take the switch out for the hazard lights. This guy has to go. Those kind of don't work either. Let's pull that guy out next. There's just a Phillips screw at the end of it. Take the screw out and then the whole switch housing pops off. Go very carefully so we don't break anything because it's plastic and probably already broken. See how that works? Set that down. So now it's time for the hard part. You see, there's a big spring behind this clock spring device right here, and it's pushing this thing outwards. So there's a bunch of spring pressure working against me here. I need to push this thing down and then get in there and pull this snap ring out from the column, and that's going to release this clock spring from the column shaft right there. So there is probably a special tool that exists to press this thing down. I don't have one, so I'm gonna make my own out of the steering wheel puller here.
We're gonna put some sockets behind it if I can fit them in there. And we will use this puller and these sockets to press this bad unit down into position if the spacing is going to work in my favor. There we go.
Okay, 10 minutes of trying different nut sizes to fit in there. I think I've got one that's gonna work. So what we'll do is we're now just gonna tighten this thing down, and it's going to overwhelm the spring pressure behind this clock spring device here. And that should give me the space I need to reach in with a pocket screwdriver and pluck that retainer out of there. Now getting it back in, that's a different set of challenges. But we're not worried about that right now. Right now we're just worried about getting that little guy out. Okay, it's got no pressure on it, so I think I can dig it out of there. Yeah, no space. There's probably a special tool, like I said. I don't own it though, so we're doing this the hard way. I tend to do things the hard way around here. Just the way it is. I've been plucking away at this thing with some little pocket drivers, and we have the clip 40% removed from its engagement groove in the column. So now I just need to walk these little pocket drivers around until that clip comes out all the way. Without letting it slip back in, of course, because it will try to go back into its groove. So let's get that guy right there to kind of hold it, and I'll walk around the back of it with a pick. Try to pluck that thing out of there. It's almost out. Hope you guys can see what I'm trying to show you in there. The bottom section, that little bottom piece is not wanting to come out of the groove yet though. Get in there behind it, pluck it out. I think I got it. Yeah, I think that's it. We're real close. Okay. Yeah, I think it's out. I see the bottom section of it right there. So now that ring is just hanging out on the shaft and it has been removed from its groove. So we can take the nut off and start to pull spring pressure away. Just kind of screw that guy out. Nuts fell out. There is the snap ring. See it right there? Okay. This is our horn button connection deal. That's the piece I just broke. See that? That's the spring we were just fighting against. And then this is our turn signal spot clock spring type of assembly deal. So let's disassemble this unit. Then we can take the shroud off the column. Once we have the shroud off the column, we can do something about the leverage, or the lever. The issue with leverage is screw right there. And the other one down here. Good, unclick. Oh, third one.
nasty. It all needs cleaned up. It's full of old grease. This is hot. Yeah, this thing right here is hot. We have electricity flowing through here. It's very hot. Okay, disassembly continues. We need to pull out the ignition tumbler and the rest of these little electronical pieces here. It's a contact point. Set that off to the side, and then there's a little Torx bit here to unlock the tumbler to pull the tumbler out. Once the tumbler's out, we can excuse me. Once the tumbler is out, we can slide off this section of the column deal, and that's going to give us some access to those rod, the push rod inside of there. Okay. Next, we're going in with the Torx bits here. We got a big one. Hey Cassidy, will you bring me those Torx bits that I left on that blue tray over there? Well, can I have those little bits, those Torx bits right there? Yeah, those things. Thank you, sir. I need those. I forgot them. See how that shroud's starting to flop around and it wants to come out. I still have to get the tumbler out of there. So let's switch it out to a smaller unit. I know it's dark in there, tough to see. I don't have any more lights that I can set up in a driver's seat. That should be our pin for the ignition tumbler. And then the lock comes right out, like so. This pin rides and sits inside of that groove, and that's what locks this tumbler into position. If this pin wasn't in here, you could just pull the tumblers out and then just start the car up and drive away with a pair of vice grips. So this guy, oh, I haven't had one of these apart for a while. See how to do this. I think I need to disconnect the switch and pull the whole switch assembly out of here. Try to pull on it some. There. Okay, so our rod, it's over here on the left. Let me take some of this business off. We unscrew this guy. I'm gonna leave that where I found it, which I think it goes like so. Yeah, that goes here. We're gonna leave that there. Set this stuff aside. It's our horn contact. And the switch in question, it's that one. Oh, I just knocked the rod off. That's cute. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's try it with some more light. So yeah, that's our rod that runs the high beams. This is so complicated. It's so simply complicated. Simple and complicated. There we go. Okay. That's good in there. Yeah, we're gonna put a turn signal switch in this thing, which means we need to unplug this and fish all these wires out too. I gotta pull this whole column apart. Bottom of the column. Column's coming down a little bit. There we go. Let's pull this plate off of here next. That was not tight. No, it was that one. Someone's been here before, says I. How did... I know there's a way that these come out of here, and I don't remember what it is. Yeah, see, there's this shroud business. Oh, it's plastic. Okay, I see. I thought that was metal at first. I was like, how am I supposed to get that thing to fit through this thing? That's silliness. Wonder if I gotta knock the shift lever out, take that off, and then slide the rest of the shroud out of there. I think I do. Let's get a punch and run this pin up and out. We'll do that next. Okay, hammer and a punch. We're gonna knock out that pin. Okay, now we're gonna pull out with pliers. Seriously? Whoa! Punching people's cars with hammers. Pliers. Plier hammers. That sounded spring loaded. Yep, there's the spring. Okay, column shroud piece. How do you come out next? That's annoying. So after taking a moment to reevaluate removing this section of the column, I found that that's tied into the shifter mechanism. So I'd rather not remove that. What I'm going to try to do, I've disconnected all the electrical connectors here. I'm going to try to just feed these through, and maybe I can pull this apart without taking the thing apart. Maybe I'll go in there and fish that out with a screwdriver or something. Yeah, I think I should be able to just kind of pull these guys like all the way through. I don't see why I need to take this shroud off of here. This little guy's getting hung up. Try to flex it some. Ah, there's one of them. Right there. Okay. So this other one. That one's a little bigger. This could pose an obstacle, a challenge, some difficulty. You can cut it off, right? Nobody ever said I'm putting it back in. You can just chop the thing off, and that's it. Tedious work. Yaha, there it is. You see that? You can see that. Good. Sweet, okay. So I got the switch out without tearing the column out. That's good. There's actually two circuits here, two different switches. One is for the wiper blades, and then this is the multifunction / turn signal switch. This is the one we're gonna change out. That guy. See all the nasty inside of those contacts? It's probably causing our short. Yeah, look at those contacts in there. They're all corroded. See that? Yeah, it's bad connection. And that green stuff, that corrosion green business in there, that is conductive, and it could be shorting to ground or to power, making the circuits not functional. So I ordered one of these. We're gonna get one of these guys, slap it in, and then see if our light situation is improved any. So going back out back to the taillight area near the trunk where the shovel was found. If we pull these lights off, that's jammed in there real good. Pull these bulbs out of here in China. What we found inside of these connectors is they're loaded up full of old grease and nasty. Now I'm no expert here, but I don't think that nasty hardened grease is going to be that great for conducting electrons. So we're going to go in there with some contact cleaner and clean that stuff out. That way all the bulbs have, that one's junk. Another! Yeah. Right? Yeah, that one's, it dropped it, it's junk. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean those out and put one new bulb in, and then we know for sure that the bulbs are getting good contact at those connectors. So we're solving a lot of electrical nasty right here. Oh look, I just found a defect in this. Look, see that pin? That pin is supposed to be over here, not over there. So that's not aligned. Yeah, I think this is for sure the short. It's a simple circuit vehicle, so there's not too much that can really go wrong with it. Yeah, see, there's that pin right there. There's one. But then the counterpart on this side is pushed over sideways. I think the problem's in the switch right here. We'll find out when I get another one. It's on the way. All right, here we go. We got a new one in position here. This came from a release. They supplied us with the correct component parts. Not sponsored, that's just who I bought the parts from. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna shove this thing down into that column. Get that wire to pop out the back side there. That's what we want. And let's go ahead and feed in the wiper control wire as well. That one goes with it. Should pop out. Don't get stuck in there now. Okay, that one goes there. So let me try to reassemble this. Actually, you know what? Plug it all in and see if it's gonna work. Power it up and see what happens here. Because it's kind of a triagnostic, but oh, gravity. Yeah, I kind of tried some parts here, but we've only got X amount of possibilities. I didn't see any damage from when the car was stolen though. I thought we were gonna have like a stolen car. They chopped up the harness to make the thing run kind of situation. That's not really how this turned out. Maybe it's already been fixed. And then this is wiper control. We probably don't have to plug this one in, but while we're here. Seriously? There. Okay. Well, there's lights. There's our rod for the high beam switch. See that right there? I'm going to bend this rod some. High beams are off. So the problem with the high beams is there was slop in the area up here, probably wear at the little switches. I'll see what I can do about that. Make those high beams work again. Yes, sir.
Backlight, the one I just cleaned, still not turned on.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
This is the one I just hit.
That one there?
Yep.
That one, so those are on. That one's not. Yeah. Here, hold that real quick. I'm wondering. Oh, you gotta get it. You didn't have it in. See how these little tabs right here, one's higher up, one's lower down? Well, if you have them backwards, then you won't be able to twist this to lock it in. So it goes that way, push and twist, and then it locks in.
Let there be light.
Yeah. So now we've got two lit.
One
that one's
dim.
Real dim.
Maybe it'll come back when I clean it.
Nah, yeah. You didn't clean that one out yet?
Yeah, I'm working on this one.
Okay, let's clean that one out. Let's see if it quits being so dim. Those are going to be hot when you touch them because they're on. I'm going to operate signals, so if anything changes, don't worry about it. Let's see here. It's not doing anything. Let's turn the ignition key on. Maybe signals don't want to work with the key off. Where's my pliers? Nope, no pliers. We'll just use the lock tumbler. I just saw it flash. Let's go the other way. Yeah, that one flashes. This side's not flashing. Okay. Off. Well, let's fix this high beam switch real quick. So I've got the lever. Just gonna give it a slight bend this direction. Put it back in the switch down here. That's our high beam switch. Put that back in. Operate the lever. That's good. That's the ignition switch. That operates off of a lever as well, or a rod. I keep saying lever. It's a rod. So that one operates off of a rod. Let's see what signals do with the headlights turned in the off position. Alright, so we're flashing, headlights off. We turn parking lights on, flashing goes away, headlights on, flashing goes away. Let's go check the actual bulbs and see if we have any level of improvement here. That's nice and shiny. Let's go to the other side. Let's see here. We want to go left direction. There.
This one was coming on.
That one was on too? Okay. Well, there's an improvement in brightness. We got somewhere with this. Not the greatest result, but it's whatever. Anyway, I need to get this thing reassembled real quick. Let's get everything back together so the car can be moved. We're moving on slightly in time. I've got the shrouding back on. It was kind of a bear to get all these pieces fitted, but I've got the we got it all kind of mocked up. So let's throw some fasteners in this thing. I might have to take this apart a couple times to get it all right. There's a lot of intricate pieces in here, little springs and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, see, I touch it and wipers go off. Turn the switch or something? That's a little odd. Whatever, I'll take it apart if I have to work that out. This guy, it's gonna go in like so. Okay, why are you on? It's the off position right there. Leave it alone for a minute. It's just gonna turn on again. Just watch. That's supposed to go there, and then there's a lever. Where'd this lever go? I think there's a bad connection in this switch too. It shouldn't be doing that by any means, clearly. Anyway, let's get our little cancellation lever, little dealio. I think that attaches to this guy. Yeah, that's gonna bolt to this device here. So once I get this thing in, that's how it's gonna sit. Okay, that's why this lever is flippy floppy. Let's see what we're doing. Okay, the wipers won't stop wiping uncommanded. I'll take it back apart again. I told you I'm gonna be in and out of here. Shut up, wipey blades. You weren't doing that before I put a turn signal switch in there, so what's the problem? Killing me, Smalls.
Okay.
It's horrible. How do I get this thing out of here? I have no idea. Does it come out? High beam switch works now. There's the illuminator. Off, on, off, on. That's good. The wipers have stopped doing that thing that they were doing. I sprayed a bunch of contact cleaner inside of that switch and then just operated it a bunch, and it seems to have decided to shut up. So I'd like to try to put this together some, and have to go from there, I guess. That doesn't line up. What are we doing? That's good. So let's throw our ignition key and tumbler in. Where's the key? I need to turn this bad unit. I need the key to make it turn the correct way. I couldn't find the keys for the longest time. They were sitting in the trunk. Okay, that's good. Next we need the column lock retainer pin. Put that guy in so the tumbler can't just fall out and get the car stolen again. Okay, that's so far so good. Let's feed our switch back down in the hole here. These wires have a twist in them the wrong way. I wish I'd have put this switch business in correctly. I have the wires flipped around backwards. It'll be all right though. Flip them through on the bottom side in a moment. So this, put that guy in position right there. Perfect. Couple more screws to hold that unit in. I forgot this little contact piece that goes behind it. Told you I'm gonna do this in and out over and over again a bunch of times. That guy plugs in right there. I think that's where it was. Wait, I need to have the tumbler out of the way to get that little switch thing, little contact connector in. Tumbler out some, then put this in. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, whatever. It doesn't go in. It'll come out with the tumbler in, but it doesn't go in with the tumbler in. I wonder if there's like, press this up or something. Oh yeah, there's a little spring-loaded detent thing that comes down and meets that. There. Yeah, I got you now. Okay, that's how that works. So I can leave this out for now. I've got one more bolt to put in. It's this one. So we'll go in, push that tab up. It's sticking out of the tumbler. It's like a spring-loaded little deal. And then put that in. There we go. Recheck. The contact circuitry for the horn, I believe. Okay, so let's throw a spring on there. We'll stick this switch back in and bolt her down. That goes like that. Good. Stay. 3 more fasteners. Okay, that's 2 units. Tight. Becoming on more tight. That was good. And then this little lever business here engages this lever. That's our turn signal cancel feature. I've got to sneak that thing in. That goes there. There we go. Missing the 3rd bolt for here. I didn't find that one. What did I do with it? It was hiding on the floor. It went down inside of one of these little cracks here. So let's sneak this one in. That's the 3rd fastener for the turn signal switch. Okay, that's tight. Okay, that operates normally. Good, I like this. So, next, oh, the little button thing. That little button guy. There's a new one, because I broke that one. It was a doorman for the win situation. And props to them, they make the stuff nobody else makes anymore. Yep, see that? Forget the arrangement of this. Is it this first and then the spring? I think it is. Yeah, that's gonna sit like so. Okay. Okay, good with that. If it's wrong, I'll take it apart and do it again. We have the lever here for the tilt column. That screws in. It's threaded on the end. It's going to thread and screw in to right here. There's a little metal piece in there that operates the linkage for the tilt feature. Screw that guy in, pull it back, it tilts. Leave it go, it does not tilt. Okay. So, I think it might be time to go ahead and get this button plate installed. I think. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. No, not like that. It goes this way. Isn't it?
This should be all cleaned out now.
All good in the hood? Thank you, sir. So it splines in, so there's a reference to this. How does it spline? Like that, okay. That goes there, so we know the orientation.
Where do these delicious fellas go?
Put them in the cabinet, the supply cabinet over there. By the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Next to the bathroom, yep.
Yeah, so now I just need to, yep, that's it. That's how it goes. So I need to get this thing compressed, splined in, and then get the snap ring thing over top of it. Boys, it's the next day. I'm inserting foot in mouth or whatever, or I'm feeling some embarrassment. I'm trying to get this thing back together, and it's not going back together. You see the steering column shaft wobble right here? It appears that I've somehow, some way managed to knock one of the roller bearings out of the bearing pack back here. There's a secondary bearing in there, and I knocked the bearing out. And I realized that once I had the top plate here almost all the way installed, it ended up feeling really loose, so I took it back apart, and then that's when I realized it's not supposed to do that, and I broke it. Don't know how I broke it, but I knocked out one of the little ball bearings in there. So now I have to not count all the stuff that I just did as being productive. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this apart again and try to swap those bearings out. Okay, I couldn't bear to leave that alone as a cliffhanger. I had to make it a full, complete, all the ways kind of story situation. So if you take a look at here, I got the thing back together. The steering column is in position. We've got a new hazard switch, little button right there. Those are working. See this? We ended up getting bearings out of another column, changing it out, because that flippy floppy steering wheel thing that I broke, that was my bad. This isn't bolted on all the way down here. We're not done just yet, but I wanted to kind of finish up what I was showing you guys. So back where we started, we have right turn signal, headlights on, turn signal stays on. High beams, down to low beams, we're good. Left side, we're good. And with the brakes engaged, same thing, lights on or off, it is fixed. So we had, looks like a short in the switch business over here. Changed out the switch. I have not checked up on that wiper situation. We changed out everything from the replacement column here. We had a donor part. Let's see if this is going to turn off by itself now. We did the mist. Set it for mist. And it doesn't want to stop unless put it in high, off. It should want to stop, but it's not parking and stopping. That's clearly not the switch, because we changed one out from another column. Let's see what happens if I shut it down. Is it gonna park? And now it'll park. Okay, so there's some kind of wiper control unit that's responsible for these, and it's not, I think it's a relay. What was that? You hear that pop noise in there? But yeah, now they won't park. They won't park unless you power it down. Perhaps it has a sticking power relay. And now they should park. Yep, okay. So that has yet to be resolved. I also omitted the skull shifter thing, because this skull business is super flippy floppy. Donor parts had a new one in there, so I think this is a little bit better than the one I took out. But I can also change it back out if they would like me to put the skull back in this thing on the shifter. I think this is a little bit more classy, so I hope she's okay with it. Oh, let's check the actual lights out back real quick. You guys want to see them actually doing their dealio. Keep this back on. Next up, I need to figure out what's up with the doors. Yeah, that's much more better. Yep, that's right signal. Tail lights on. Everybody's working like it should be. I'm so thrilled to get this one kind of evened out a little bit, worked out a little bit, fixed up a little bit. Get rid of that stuff over there. Okay, so is there anything else you guys want to see on this particular vehicle over here? There's a lot to look at. Let me know in the comment section down below if there's anything you want me to make a specialized video about. I didn't really plan on doing a bunch of videos on this particular donk right here. There's a lot of tinker work after
we get this all the interior parts buttoned back up, we're going to put this on a lift and take a look down below. But yeah, let me know in the comment section if you want to see any more videos on this car, and if so, what would you like to see out of the videos on this car? All the stuff that seemingly does nothing and goes nowhere, that'd be kind of cool to kind of go through all the factory repair defects or whatever. There's been a lot of people with their flanges in this thing, and it's pretty obvious that it's been manipulated quite a bit. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna close this one out again. Like I said, I didn't want to leave out a cliffhanger, so you guys know the drill. Don't forget to have a great day. Like and subscribe button down below. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you being here till the end. End of donk.